afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. I am Bhavita Gopalchan. Thank you so much for joining us. Top of the news at this time. Despite reports that the dispute at Point Leases had been resolved, an internal memo from Nutrien shows the company has already shut down its Trinidad operations and remains dissatisfied with the outcome of its talks with the National Energy Corporation. Following a high-level meeting involving Nutrien, the National Gas Company and NEC, NGC agreed to withdraw its claim for US $28 million in retroactive port fees and reopen access to the port facilities. Nutrien had been preparing to file an injunction, but agreed to stand down after the discussions. Government officials have indicated that all parties are willing to move forward in the national interest, and efforts are now being made to restart the plant, though it may not be fully operational by tomorrow. However, sources say the situation is not yet fully resolved, as low gas supply and high prices, including millions of dollars of retroactive payment, remain ongoing challenges. In an email sent to employees yesterday, Nutrien Vice President and Managing Director Edmund Thompson confirmed that operations have now been safely shut down following a meeting with NEC that failed to produce what the company considered an economically viable solution. Finance Minister Devindranath Thakur hit back at questions raised by Opposition Member of Parliament for St. Anne's East Dr. Nian Gaspidoli regarding the adequacy of allocations to address vacancies in the health sector. During today's session of the Standing Finance Committee, Dr. Gaspidoli questioned whether the 2026 budget allocation under the Ministry of Health would be sufficient to fill hundreds of long-standing vacancies across public health institutions. Well, in response, Minister Thakur accused the previous PNM administration of neglecting the issue during its near decade in office. The finance minister said it would be improper to allocate funds for all 515 posts immediately, noting that the process of reviewing and prioritizing critical roles was already underway. Thakur also pushed back at suggestions that the current government was underfunding the health sector, insisting that the problems being faced were inherited from the previous administration. Well, Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen says there has been a significant reduction in the allocation for contractors within the city corporation. Allen says this now threatens sanitation in the capital city.
In the last financial year, we would have spent $20.9 million on garbage collection in general. But in this financial year, we've only been allocated $13.2 million. And it means that we do not have enough allocation to fund our regular scavenging, our regular garbage collection in the city of Port of Spain.
The mayor adds that short-term employment, which is usually filled by unemployed people, will also be significantly affected.
We also fund significant cleanup activities for Carnival. So with Carnival 2026 just around the corner, we would have engaged in the past the CPEP company to assist us in some parts of the city. We would have used short-term employment to employ people for 2 days or 3 days or what have you to assist us with cleaning the city. And we also would have used our overtime vote to fund some of that cleanup.
Away from budget-related news now, the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago congratulated Justice Ronnie Budusing on his appointment as the 9th Chief Justice, but raised questions about the appointment process. While praising Justice Budusing's contribution and thanking outgoing Chief Justice Iva Archie for his service, the association expressed concern over what it called a hastened and truncated process. The association cited constitutional requirements that the President must consult the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, stressing that meaningful consultation requires sharing candidate information and allowing adequate time for response. They believe the short period of consultation made it unlikely these principles were met, though they reaffirmed their confidence in Chief Justice Budusing's ability to lead the judiciary. Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association President Reginald McLean says Carnival occupancy could have been much higher if transport planning was done earlier. McLean told CNC3 News rooms in the west are filling up, but overall occupancy is slow because people are struggling to get to Tobago. He says late decisions on extra flights and ferry sailings are again hurting the island's Carnival economy.
So occupancy could be plenty better. But if you can't get people to the island, what are we going to do? The east end of the island, whatever happened in Roxborough last year was pulled. And if there's nothing on the east for Carnival, which I am a little disappointed about. And I think we have to relook at something for the Roxborough area, which would take care of Roxborough, Speyside, Delaford, Charlottesville, etc.
McLean says Tobago is already seeing cancellations because of travel challenges. He's calling for earlier ANC bridge discussions. Staying with news in Tobago, waste is leaking into the sea at Mount Irvine Beach in Tobago, leading to concerns about public health and safety. This after a video showed contaminated water flowing from two damaged waste systems. One leak is coming from an underground sewer catchment and the other from grease trapped next to the public washroom at the beach. When CNC3 News visited yesterday, a strong smell was coming from the area and a waste truck was actively suctioning waste water from the system. However, there were no warning signs and people continued to bathe just meters away. One resident who previously raised an alarm said the catchment has been leaking for 3 weeks into the sea. He is calling on the THA to install a new sewer system and prevent waste from reaching the sea.
Worse yet, the sewage system, which is behind us, has leaks in the bottom because it's a metal system. So you do have raw effluent flowing into the sea from time to time. It does get fixed, but unfortunately it's a metal system. So these are just band-aids where they need a whole new system put in there. I'm told it's about $1 million TT to put one in.
Kenny said this is not the first sewage leak at Mount Irvine Beach and warns that people have fallen ill in the past after swimming in the contaminated water. He claims the sewer system has been failing for years and needs to be replaced. Meanwhile, former TRHA chairman Dr. Denise Sawyer-Fat-Angus warns that the situation poses a public health risk.
It is really about being upfront about it and managing the situation as best as you could to make sure you minimize the impact on the public. And that is what I would recommend that they ought to be doing right now. In fact, perhaps an advisory should have gone out that the beach is closed until further notice.
Well, one beachgoer from Trinidad told CNC3 News she felt uneasy about the smell but continued swimming because no health warning was issued. Health Secretary Dr. Faith Brebnor says she's looking into the matter. It's time for a short break. We'll be right back.
Every day at the castle, long before we open our doors, our work begins. Our famous seasonings are mixed in advance. We select our fresh chicken parts and prep our delicious sides. Then we fire up the fryers and rotisserie oven. Everything is made with tasty local herbs, spices, and the same long-loved recipe since 1968. So, when you come in, remember that we uphold our culture and our taste. Just for you. We are your Royal Castle.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2 Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Tile Depot Diwali sale on now. Stunning floors at dazzling prices. 12 by 12, $750. 17 by 17, $975. 18 by 18, $995. 20 by 20, $15.95. And 22 by 22, only $20. Visit Tile Depot Limited today at Bagney Chase Village. Call 234-4402.
Bangladesh beat West Indies by 179 runs to win the ODI series 2-1 at Mirpur today. The home team batted first and scored 296 for 8. Soumya Saka scored 91 and Saif Hassan scored 80. Akhil Hussain was West Indies' best bowler with 4 for 41. In reply, men in maroon were bowled out for 117 in 30.1 overs. Akhil Hussain was the visitors' best bowler with 3 for 11, while Rashad Hussain took 3 for 54. Captain Shea Hope said the batters didn't pull through.
It was tough for us. I still think it was like a 170, 180 surface. So if you give them so many runs, you know, for us as batters to chase is going to be difficult. But having said that, regardless of what they're scoring in the first innings, we got to try to find a way to make the runs. If the bowlers didn't do it in a particular situation, then the batters got to raise their hand, and we didn't do that as batters today.
That's it for sport. It's back to a break.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance, but we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Parkland Plaza. Endeavor Chagonas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
You can make your goals unfold, go get it. You can live your dream, join the team, let's do this. You can get the help you need to succeed with Rand Credit Union. You can believe that you can achieve big goals, small ones too. Rand Credit Union, we've got you. No more waiting, that won't do. Make someday today. One life, so make it good. Live the way you know you should with Rand Credit Union. Yes, you could make someday today.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
Fill in the blank, 100 men. Oh no, I got a really hot date tonight and I don't have what?
A girl to take.
What I'm gonna do is, just for the sake of time, I'm gonna head on over this.
2 families, 1 game, endless fun. Family Feud, weekdays at 5:30 p.m. only on CNC3.
The government of Jamaica has issued a hurricane watch and upgraded the tropical storm watch to a warning as Melissa moves closer to the island. The National Hurricane Center says Melissa, with maximum sustained winds near 50 miles per hour, is expected to strengthen by late Friday and into the weekend. Tropical storm conditions are expected in Jamaica early on Friday, with possible hurricane conditions by the afternoon. As a precaution, the Education Ministry there has suspended face-to-face classes on Thursday. Time for the weather forecast with Jean-Marc Rampersad.
We had a mostly sunny and breezy start to the day with just an isolated shower near the eastern coastline of Trinidad. For the remainder of the day, we can expect similar conditions, which should be a welcomed change from the recent rainy days. 1 or 2 brisk isolated showers are likely, with just the low chance of the odd one becoming moderate to heavy during the afternoon. Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Melissa is still moving very slowly in the Caribbean Sea. It's expected to drift northward, then westward, passing near Jamaica as a possible Category 4 hurricane, according to the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane watches are now in effect for both Jamaica and southern Haiti.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for a look at the day's developments so far. We'll have these stories and so much more coming up for you in a major newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great day.